From Bullard, Texas, TJC Apache softball is on the air. Hello everyone, this is Dr. Charles Johnson speaking to you from Schwab Field on the campus of Brook Hill School in Bullard, just a few miles south of Tyler. We're about to bring you the broadcast of the game between the Howard Community College Hawks from Big Spring, Texas, against our Tyler Junior College Apache ladies. The Howard team comes into this game ranked number 10 nationally, while the TJC Apaches were ranked number 4 nationally in the poll that came out last week. There'll be a new poll tomorrow. We're a little bit before game time, so I thought I would go ahead and give you the lineups quickly. We didn't have time yesterday, but I want to give them to you before we get going. For the Howard Community College Hawks, leading off will be their shortstop, Ariana Gonzalez. Batting second will be the second baseman, Barbara Saviola. Layla Minich will bat third and be the designated player. Annette Cardenas will be at first. Bailey Martinez will bat fifth and catch. Ariana Gonzalez will be at third and bat sixth. Kirsten Martinez will be on the mound and bat seventh. Alyssa Rundell will be the right fielder. And the ninth in the order will be Sarah Urea, who will be the left fielder. For the Tyler Apaches, their lineup this afternoon: Jasmine Dodd will lead off in left field. Brecklin Dennis will bat second and play third. Tangela Smith will bat third and be in center field. Maliha Vera will bat cleanup and be in right field. Bailey Krolchek will be at first and bat number 5. Jody Dehart will be the designated player and bat sixth. Paulina Barajas will play shortstop and bat seventh. Riley Burke will bat eighth in the lineup and be at second. And batting ninth, Aubrey Carricker will catch. And on the mound, starting for the Apaches this afternoon, will be Hanna Frank. I wanted to mention this afternoon, I failed to do so yesterday, I apologize. This weekend here at the ballpark here in Brook Hill has been designated Megan Dobrinsky weekend. Coach Dobrinsky was the coach of the Bullard High School softball team, and last August, unfortunately, she passed away after a battle with cancer. All proceeds from this weekend from the gate, and they're also having a raffle for some bats. All those proceeds will be donated to the Dobrinsky family. She will be sorely missed. She is sorely missed, and she is was well known throughout the East Texas sports community, and we send her family well wishes. And rest in peace, Coach Dobrinsky. We're still a little away from game time. Let's take a look at what Howard did. This has been a round-robin tournament. Each team played 2 games yesterday, and they'll play 2 today. The coaches are about to meet at home plate, but yesterday Howard lost their first game to Three Rivers. They came back and won from Indian Hills, and this morning, 10 o'clock this morning, Howard played Butler and won 9-8. So they are 2-1 so far. The Apaches, this will be their first game today, but yesterday in their first game they defeated Three Rivers Community College 9-6, and then came back last night in a wild game to edge Butler Community College 10-9. As I say, both teams are highly ranked. They're both powerhouses. It should be a good game, and we're glad to be here to bring it to you. As I say, the coaches are meeting with the umpires, and we're not too far away from starting this game here at Brook Hill. We're going to take a little time out, and I'll be back in just a short while, and the game will get underway. Thanks.
Catching for the Apaches, number 4, Aubrey Carricker.
Hello, this is Dr. Charles Johnson again. We're back with you at Schwab Field.
Number 12, Hanna.
We're about to start this contest between the Tyler Junior College Apaches and the Howard Community College Hawks from Big Spring, Texas. Hannah Frank, sophomore from Rockwall, is taking our warm-up tosses, and Aubrey Carricker fires down to Paulina Barajas. And we're ready to go. Glad you're joining us, and hope you enjoy the game. Leading off for the Howard Hawks is Amanda Gonzalez, their shortstop, All-American, and actually NJCAA Player of the Year last year. She tugs the ball outside. It's a ball and no strikes to Amanda Gonzalez. Hannah Frank on the mound, or on this in the circle. Goes my baseball background. No mound out there, but the circle's there. It's 1-1 now to Gonzalez. She swings and fouls it off, and the count goes to 1-2 to the shortstop Amanda Gonzalez. Around that infield is Brecklin Dennis at third, Paulina Barajas at short, Riley Burke at second, Bailey Krolchek at first. There's a strike on the inside corner, and Hannah Frank has struck out Amanda Gonzalez. That'll bring up Barbara Saviola, the second baseman. She taps one between the first and second for a base hit out into right field. And Saviola has the first base hit of the game. And here's Layla Minich, the designated player. Hannah Frank, the sophomore from Rockwall, Texas, in the circle. She fires a little bit inside. It's 0-1. So Saviola reached first on a base hit after Gonzalez struck out to start this inning. There's a little pop fly that Bailey Krolchek is over, and she grabs it for the second out.
Now batting with a runner at first and 2 outs. Number 20, Annette Cardenas.
Here's Annette Cardenas, the first baseman. The Hawks dressed in their bright red uniforms with black trim. There's a strike on the outside corner. So we're 2 down here in the first. Beautiful afternoon, a few clouds around, but a little warmer than it was yesterday. A nice day for a ball game for sure. Hanna Frank fires a little bit low, and the count evens at 1-1. There's a pitch. Curveball that was a little bit inside. It's 2 balls and a strike. There's 2 down here in the top of the first. Swings and a miss. So the count is even at 2-2. There's 2 outs and a Saviola on first. Hanna Frank fires and Cardenas swings and a miss, and she strikes out for the 3rd out. So in the top of the first inning for the Howard Hawks, they get 1 hit, but no runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on. And at the end of a half an inning, we have no score. Be back with you in just a moment. We're back at Schwab Field in Bullard, Texas. We're going into the bottom of the first inning. The contest between the Howard Community College Hawks and the Tyler Junior College Apaches. To lead off for the Apaches, their sophomore left fielder, Jasmine Dodd. Jasmine had a terrific day yesterday. She got 5 hits out of 7 times at bat. She scored 6 runs with 2 RBIs and had a homer and a double. Kirsten Martinez is on the hill or in the circle. I'll stop on the hill before too long, hopefully. Kirsten Martinez throws a strike to Dodd. Dodd fouls it off down the left field line, and the count goes 0-2. After Dodd, Brecklin Dennis, the third baseman, will come up, followed by the center fielder Tangela Smith. A little outside. So it's 1-2 on Jasmine Dodd, the sophomore left fielder from Bentonville, Arkansas. There's a ground ball to the second baseman. She fires to first, and Dodd is out 4-3. So that's your first out.
Number 2, Brecklin Dennis.
And here's Brecklin Dennis, sophomore third baseman. We've just started. We're in the bottom of the first. There's no score yet. She takes a pitch a little away for a ball. Dennis went to school at Cypress Woods down in Cypress in her high school days. She fouls it back, and evens the count at 1-1. Pops it up to the right side, the second baseman going out and makes a fine running play down the line to retire Brecklin Dennis. It was excellent play by Barbara Savioli. So there's 2 down. And here's Tangela Smith, the Apache center fielder, wearing a number 7 on the back of her white jersey. Gray pants trimmed in Apache black and gold. Smith had a home run yesterday. Well, one of her 2 hits in those 2 games yesterday was a home run. It's a little bit inside. Count evens at 1-1. She pops it up down the left side. It's going to be out of play. So Kirsten Martinez from Dinuba, California, pitcher for the Hawks, and she's ahead of Tangela Smith. 2 strikes and 1 ball. There's 2 down here in the bottom of the first. A little tap, a little pop fly out to the shortstop, handled by Amanda Gonzalez. And so the Apaches go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. And at the end of 1 inning of play, the Howard Hawks 0 and the Tyler Junior College Apaches 0. Be back shortly. Dr. Charles Johnson back with you now at Schwab Field on the campus of Brook Hill School in Bullard, Texas. And we're going to the top of the second inning. The Howard Hawks will bring up Martinez, their catcher, to lead it off. Bailey Martinez. Hanna Frank in the circle for the Apaches. And she fires a strike and gets ahead. Bailey Martinez is a sophomore, and she hails from Albuquerque, New Mexico. There's a ground ball to Burke, the second baseman, has it. She fires to Bailey Krolchek, and there's 1 down.
Number 14, Ariana Gonzalez.
Ariana Gonzalez, the third baseman, is now batting. Frank fires on the inside corner, and she gets ahead. So far, Hanna Frank has gotten ahead of hitters, which is certainly going to be a positive for her if she can keep doing so. She fires a little ground ball to Brecklin Dennis at third, who fires to Bailey Krolchek at first. And quickly we have 2 down here in the top of the second. And here's the pitcher, Kirsten Martinez, California native. She's a freshman. Hanna Frank fires. A little bit inside, and the count evens out. They're 2 down. We're in the top of the second inning. There's been no score. Only one base runner so far. It was a single by Saviola of the Hawks in the first. There's a swing. Didn't connect, and it's 2-2. Hanna Frank throws a drop ball that Kirsten Martinez does not connect with, and she goes down swinging. And so Hanna Frank has a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on, rather. And we go to the bottom of the second with no score. Be back in a moment. We're back with you from Bullard, Schwab Field. We're going to the bottom of the second inning. And for the Tyler Junior College Apaches, our first hitter will be the right fielder, sophomore Maliha Vera. Maliha played in the first game, fouled it back. First game yesterday, and went 1 for 3 and had an RBI. So far this early season, Maliha has been the RBI leader for the Apaches. There's a ball a little bit low. Evens the count at 1-1. Maliha Vera is from Deer Park, Texas, in the Houston area. She's a sophomore. One of the leaders on this Apache team. It's 2 balls and a strike. Martinez fires, and O'Vera fouls it off over to the right, and the count is even. Second inning, no score. Apaches up for the second time. Their 4th, 5th, and 6th place hitters will be up. Here's a pitch to O'Vera. Reaches for one a little outside and doesn't connect, and goes down swinging. So Maliha O'Vera is a strikeout victim.
Now batting with 1 out, number 20, Bailey Krolchek.
And here's the freshman Bailey Krolchek, the first baseman. Young lady from Corpus Christi, Texas. Went to Veterans Memorial High School down in Corpus. It's a pitch a little outside to Bailey, wearing a number 20 on her white Apache jersey. She fouls one back. In the 2 games yesterday, Bailey Krolchek was at bat 6 times. He got 2 base hits, an RBI. One of her hits was a double, and the other one was a long home run. There's a pitch just a bit inside. And it's 2-1 to Krolchek. Ball outside. With the 2 wins yesterday, the Apaches stretched their record to 15-1 for the season. They lost their very first game of the spring season up in Oklahoma to Seminole, Oklahoma. Seminole State, who's ranked presently number 1 in the country. There's a high pop-up on the infield. The shortstop's under it, and she grabs it. And that's out number 2. So both pitchers for the Apaches and for the Hawks are doing a great job. Jody Dehart, who's a designated player, steps in with 2 down here in the second. She fouls one back. We're in the bottom of the second. No score. Jody Dehart stands in. She sends one down left field line that's curving foul. A long strike. Dehart's got excellent power. She went 2 for 4 yesterday in the 2 ball games. Scored 2 runs, had an RBI, and Dehart had a double and a home run. So she did well yesterday. There's a little ground ball headed out to the second baseman, who picks it up, fires to first, and Dehart is out for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Apaches go down, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on, and at the end of 2 full innings, there is no score. Back in a moment. Dr. Charles Johnson back with you. Pinch hitting again this afternoon for Dr. John Groth, who's the voice of Apache baseball and softball. He's on another assignment, so I'm sitting in for Dr. Groth, and we're going to the top of the 3rd inning. And up for the Hawks is Alyssa Rundell, the right fielder. There's been only 1 hit in the game, and that was by Saviola, the second baseman of the Hawks, back in the 1st inning. Hanna Frank in the circle for the Apaches. She fires. It's down low. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike now on Rundell. Fastball on the outside corner, and the count evens at 2-2. Excellent pitch by Hanna Frank. Just got that corner, and Rundell could not do anything with it. There's a little tapper to Bailey Krolchek at first. She picks it up, runs over and steps on the bag.
Number 5, Sarah Urea.
And there's 1 down, and here's Sarah Urea, the left fielder, 9th slot in the order for the Hawks. She attempts a bunt, doesn't get it, and that's a strike. So Hanna Frank gets ahead of Urea, and she's been getting ahead of most of these hitters all afternoon. Swings and a miss, a nice drop ball. There's 2 strikes, no balls, 1 down. We're in the top of the 3rd, and no score. Hannah Frank fires down a little bit low. And the count goes to 1-2. Hannah Frank fires, and Rbis swings and misses, and she goes down swinging. That's the second out in the inning, and we're back to the top of the order. The ever-dangerous Amanda Gonzalez, the shortstop, who from the Los Angeles, California area. There's going to be a base hit down the left field line. Jasmine Dodd's over to cut it off. But Gonzalez holds up or goes into second with a double. So a two-out double for Amanda Gonzalez. And so the Hawks have a base runner with 2 outs.
Number 2,
Barbara Saviola, the second baseman who had a hit her first time up. She's a left-handed swinger. Hannah Frank fires a little bit outside for ball 1. So Gonzalez is in scoring position at second. And Saviola's trying to do some damage and get her in. She swings and fouls it. Hannah Frank has done an excellent job of moving the ball in and out to these hitters and kept them a little bit off balance so far. The first scoring threat of the ball game has Amanda Gonzalez at short. At the shortstop at second, rather. The ball gets through Carricker, the catcher. So Gonzalez goes to third. Probably be a pass ball. It was down low and skidded underneath Aubrey Carricker all the way to the backstop to the screen. So Gonzalez is at third now. There's a pitch a little bit up. So we've got a 3-1 count on the number 2 hitter in the Howard lineup, Barbara Saviola. There's a fly ball out to left field. Jasmine Dodd circling under it, and she has it. And so Hannah Frank works out of a little bit of a jam there. And that's the third out of the inning. So the Hawks don't score. They do get 1 hit. They leave 1 on, and we go to the bottom of the third, and the Apaches are going to send up Paulina Barajas, Riley Burke, and Aubrey Carricker, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Dr. Charles Johnson back with you here, and we're going to the bottom of the third.
Number 11, Paulina
Barajas. Paulina Barajas, the freshman shortstop from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, will lead off here in the bottom of the third. She's a right-handed hitter. Nice little bunt, but the pitcher came in quickly and fired to first. And Barajas was thrown out 1-3.
Now batting with 1 out. Number 5, Riley Burke.
And here's Riley Burke, the second baseman. Her first appearance today. There's a pitch inside for a ball. Burke batted 3 times in the 2 games yesterday. She scored a run, but got 2 hits, 2 out of 3, and one of those hits was a double. There's a pitch downstairs. Riley Burke hails from Riverside, California. There's a pitch down the middle. The count goes 2-1. Again, we're in the third, and we've not had any runs, unlike yesterday when runs were plentiful early. There's a little ground ball headed through the middle, but the shortstop picks it up. Gonzalez made a nice play on that, and she fired to the first baseman, Cardenas, for the out. And Riley Burke.
Batting with 2 outs. Number 4, Aubrey Carricker.
Aubrey Carricker comes up. She's the Apache catcher for this game. So the Apaches have been down in order so far. Carricker's seeing if she can do something about that. There's a pitch on the outside, a little bit low and outside for a ball. Quickly, there's 2 down here in the third. Apaches looking for their first base hit of the afternoon. She fouls it back. Carricker 1-1. 1-1 on Carricker. Carricker is from Thornton, Colorado. Several girls from Colorado on the Apache team. Looks like a base hit into left center. Falls in there. Aubrey Carricker is streaking towards second, and she goes in there with a 2-base hit. Aubrey Carricker gets the first base hit for the Apaches this afternoon with a double into left center. Left fielder cut it off, but just couldn't get it in time
Jasmine, Dodd.
to get Carricker. So Aubrey Carricker's at second, and here's Jasmine Dodd, the left fielder, the leadoff hitter for the Apaches, and she grounded out to the second baseman in the first to start the bottom of the first. There's a pitch called a strike on the outside corner. Good pitch, very good pitch from Martinez. There's a pitch outside. Aubrey Carricker's at second after a double, ringing double out into left center. Jazz Dodd seeing if she could bring her in. There's a long drive out into right center. It's going to go all the... That ball is out of here. For a moment I thought it was going to clip the top of the wall, but it went over. And Jasmine Dodd has hit a line drive home run right over near the 220 sign in right field. A blast that puts the Apaches on the board with 2 runs, and they take the lead.
Now batting with 2 outs. Number 2, Dennis.
They take the lead 2-0 over the Hawks. So a 2-out clutch home run from Jasmine Dodd has given the Apaches the lead. Here's Dennis, the third baseman. She popped out to the second baseman in the first. So after 2 were out, the Apaches struck with a double by Carricker and a long home run by Jazz Dodd. That thing didn't get very high. I thought for a moment that it hit the top of the fence, but it cleared it. And Dodd has 2 RBIs. There's a changeup. And it's 2-1 on the sophomore third baseman, Dennis, left-handed swinger. She pops one back up over us, I think, pretty close to us. That evens the count at 2-2, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the third. The pitch to Dennis. She fouls it. Looks like she fouled it kind of off of her foot. She got hit in the arm yesterday. I saw her afterwards. She said it was a little bit sore and tender, but that she was okay. She said it got under her elbow guard some way. A ball outside. And the count goes full to Brecklin Dennis. Here's a pitch. There's a fly ball out down the right field line. The right fielder is over, and she takes care of it. That's Alyssa Rundell, the right fielder, grabs that fly ball for the third out. So the Apaches strike first on a Jasmine Dodd 2-run home run. After 3 innings, it's the Tyler Junior College Apaches 2 and the Howard County Community College Hawks 0. Be back with you in just a little bit. Dr. J back with you at Schwab Field, and we're going to the top of the 4th for the Hawks. Layla Minich, she takes a strike on the inside corner, and has been the case most of the afternoon, Hanna Frank gets ahead. Minich is the designated player. A little ground ball back to Hanna Frank, who fires to first for the out. Minich grounds out 1-3.
Now batting with 1 out, number 20, Annette Cardenas.
Here's Annette Cardenas, the first baseman. She's a sophomore from Houston, Texas. There's a drive out into right field for a base hit. And so a 1-out hit by Cardenas. Fell in front of Maliha Vera out there.
First and 1 out, number 22, Bailey Martinez.
Here's number 22, Bailey Martinez, the catcher, up with 1 on and 1 out. The Hawks find themselves trailing now 2-0 to the Apaches. Line down the third baseline, foul. Bailey Martinez is a sophomore at Howard, and she hails from Albuquerque, New Mexico. There's a ball into the dirt, but Aubrey Carricker does a good job digging it out. And the count goes to 1-1. We've got a runner at first. We've got 1 out, and we're in the top of the 4th. Game moving so far at a pretty fast pace. Both pitchers are doing a great job so far. Those 2 hits that the Apaches picked up in the third were the first 2 hits for them, but they were big. A double by Carricker and a home run by Dodd. There's a ground ball to shortstop. 6-4-3 on the double play. Barajas to Burke to Krolchek. And the side is retired. A nice double play. Handled first by Paulina Barajas at short, who caught it. It was a hard hit ball. She flipped it to Riley Burke at second, who threw to Bailey Krolchek at first, and we had a double play. So No runs, one hit. No one left on for the Howard Hawks. And we go into the bottom of the fourth inning. The Apaches are holding a 2-0 lead. Be back in a moment.
Smith.
We're back with you, fans, for the bottom of the fourth. Tyler Junior College will bring up Tangela Smith, the center fielder, followed by Maliha, Vera, the right fielder, with Bailey Krolchek, the first baseman, to bat third in this inning. So Tangela Smith steps in. She popped to the shortstop in the first. Looks like she had a bunt on her mind, but she pulled the bat back, and the ball was outside and low for a ball. Outside, ball two. Smith has great speed, and usually if she can get one down in a pretty good spot, she'll generally beat it out. So she had that on her mind, maybe have it on her mind right now, but we'll see. 2 balls. There's a strike. Two balls and a strike to Tangela Smith. She fouls that off. Again, she looked like she had bunt on her mind. And the count evens up at 2-2. We're just starting the bottom of the fourth, and the Tyler Apaches hold a 2-0 lead over the Howard Hawks. Smith looks like she gets hit. She swung.
She didn't swing all the way.
Well, there's some controversy here whether she swung and tipped the ball, but it definitely hit her hand. But whether she actually fouled it first, it hit the bat, we're going to have a discussion with the umpires to see what they saw. In the meantime, Tangela Smith is at first, and the decision was that she was hit by a pitch.
Now batting with runner at first and no outs. Number 1, Maliha, Vera.
Here's the tall first baseman from Corpus Christi. Correction, is Maliha Vera, the right fielder. So Smith's at first, and Maliha Vera stands in there. She attempts to bunt and fouls it back. So Martinez gets ahead of Vera. Tangela Smith with great speed. At first, she led the nation in stolen bases last year, and she's a threat to go. Up high, and she steals second. The throw was a little low, bounced in there, and so a stolen base for Tangela Smith. And it's a 1-1 count on Maliha Vera, the sophomore left fielder from Deer Park, Texas. Here's the pitch. Vera fouls it over to the right. So it's a ball and 2 strikes on Vera, and Smith's in scoring position out at second. There's a line drive down the left field line, That's going to score Smith, or it looks like she's coming to the plate. She's in there. Meanwhile, Maliha Vera takes second. A base hit down the left field line. The left fielder came in and fired to home, but Smith slid in there ahead of the throw. So Olvera drives in a run here in the bottom of the fourth. And the Apaches take a 3-0 lead. And here's Bailey Krolchek, the first baseman. She fouls it off to the right. The Apache now have 3 base hits, 3 runs, 3 base hits. The big blow was a Jazz Dodd home run back in the third, a 2-run homer. And here's Krolchek. She takes a pitch outside. It's 2-1. Maliha Vera took second on that throw in from the left fielder. She singled and then took second on that throw, trying to cut down Smith, but it wasn't in time. Krolchek, a base hit to center field. Maliha Vera, it gets through the center fielder. Maliha Vera is going to score, and Bailey Krolchek stops at first with a ringing base hit out into right center. Center fielder went over and bobbled it for a moment, but Krolchek could not advance, but it does score the run. And here's Jody Dehart, the Lindale, Texas native. Jody's designated player this afternoon. She grounded to second her first attempt. Takes a pitch a little high and inside. It's a ball and no strikes to Dehart. There's a pitch on the outside corner called a strike, and it's 1-1. So Krolchek is on first after she delivered an RBI single, driving in Maliha Vera for the second run of this inning. Count goes to 2-1 strike. We're in the fourth inning, and the Apaches are holding a 4-0 lead over the Howard Hawks. There's nobody out. Krolchek at first. Dehart swings. And evens the count at 2-2. She fouled that one back. As I said, Jody Dehart was 2 for 4 yesterday in the 2 games with a double and a home run. She does have power. In fact, there's a long drive out to left field. It might be out of here, and it is. Jody Dehart hit a long home run over the left field fence at the 215 sign, well over the fence, and Jody Dehart has blasted a long home run, and the Apaches scored 2 more runs. I guess I was correct about that power.
Now batting with no outs, number 11, Paulina Barajas.
Here's Paulina Barajas, the shortstop, who attempted a bunt the first time. She takes a ball down low. So the Apaches have had a big inning here in the fourth so far. Here's a pitch to Barajas. Outside for a ball. The count goes to 2-0 strikes to the freshman Paulina Barajas from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Wears a number 11 on her white Apache jersey. There's a pitch upstairs, and Barajas looks down to Coach Eric Henderson to see if he decides he wants to give the take sign to her or maybe give her the green light. We'll see. But 3-0 strikes. There's a strike. The Count goes to 3-1. 4 runs in so far here in the 4th inning. A 3-1 count on Barajas. She swings and fouls it back. And we have a full count. So far we've had a hit by pitch, a single, 2 singles, and then a home run. The Apaches have scored 4 times. There's ball 4 low. Good eye by Barajas, and she goes to first on a base on balls.
Now batting with runner at first and no outs. Number 5, Riley Burke.
And here's a little second baseman from California, Riley Burke. There's a timeout. Head coach Kelly Raines has gone out to the mound, and she's going to talk to the umpire, and it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. Kelly Raines is the Howard Community College Hawks coach. This will be her 14th season. Very successful reign there for Kelly out at Howard. She's assisted by Ashley Lopez in her first season as assistant. Let's see who we've got coming in. Number 17. Number 17 is Marin Musicant, a sophomore pitcher from San Diego, California. Musicant, number 17. Marin Musicant. So we're in the 4th, everyone. The Apaches have scored 4 times, and they have a runner at first and still nobody out. They padded their lead to 6-0. And Riley Burke, the Apache second baseman, left-handed hitter, will be in the box momentarily. Paulina Barajas is at first. Riley Burke stands in. She squares around. Takes it for a ball. I guess it was a strike. It looks like the umpire called it a strike. So a ball and 1 strike. Musicant looks in for her sign. There's a strike. So Burke falls behind in the count, 0-2. Down low for a ball. One ball and 2 strikes. Riley Burke at the plate with Paulina Barajas at first. There's a little line drive out to left field. Left fielder goes over to cut it off, but Barajas is streaking to third. And Riley Burke pulls into second. With a double.
Now batting with runners in scoring positions. No outs. Number 4, Aubrey Carricker.
And here's Aubrey Carricker, the Apache catcher. There's a changeup. It floats in there for a strike. Barajas is at third. Riley Burke is at second. There's no one out here in the 4th, and the Apaches continue put pressure on the Hawks. There's a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. So it's no balls and 2 strikes on Carricker. Pitch up high. Barajas walked, and then Riley Burke sent a double into the left center gap. And they are, Barajas and Burke are at third and second. There's a little bouncer to the pitcher. Pitcher grabs it, throws to first, and there's your first out. Meanwhile, the runners stayed put. So there's one down, and Jazz Dodd, who hit a long home run her last at bat in the third, is coming up with 2 runners on and only 1 out. And there for a strike. Here's a pitch to Dodd. An off-speed pitch that floated over, and Jazz Dodd is down in the count, 0-2. A runner at third, a runner at second, and 1 down. Dodd waits on the pitch but fouls it back. Musicant looks like she's got some excellent off-speed pitches to try to keep the batters off balance. So Dodd's battling her here, seeing if she can do some damage. There's a little ground ball out toward shortstop. It gets through there. Barajas scores, as does Riley Burke. Left fielder fumbled the ball, and by the time she was able to get it into the infield, the Apaches scored 2 more runs.
Now batting with a runner in scoring position, 1 out. Number 2, Dennis.
So Dennis is up with Jasmine Dodd on second now. The Apaches have scored 6 times here, and they lead 8-0. Here's Dennis. It's called a strike. Outside. A ball and 2 strikes on the diminutive third baseman, Dennis. She lines one to the first baseman, who reaches out and grabs it. And that's the second out of the inning.
Now batting with runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Number 7, Tangela Smith.
And Tangela Smith, who led this inning off by being hit by a pitch and later scored, is up for the second time here in the 4th inning. And she's hit again. Tangela Smith is hit on the arm this time. There's no doubt about it. And she takes first.
Now batting with runner at first and 2 outs. Number 1, Maliha, Vera.
Dodd is at second. Tangela Smith. There's a base hit into center. There's a throw coming home. And Jazz Dodd slides in safely. Maliha Vera lines a base hit to center. Jasmine Dodd scores on the play.
Now batting with runners in scoring positions, 2 outs. Number 20, Bailey Krolchek.
Tangela Smith went to third, and on that throw, Maliha Vera took second. And here's Bailey Krolchek. 7 runs for the Apaches, a huge 4th inning for them. Bailey Krolchek takes a pitch that, not sure whether it was called a strike or a ball. We're not sure. We'll see. I think it was a strike. believe it's 1-1 now. Crowell check. Crowell check is popped out to short, and then she singled in the fourth in this same inning. This is her second time up. She got a base hit and scored. So the Apaches have a huge inning. Musicant trying to put out the fire, but the fire is burning pretty hot. It's outside, and we've got a 2-2 count on Krolchek, the Apache first baseman. We've got a runner at second, a runner at third. There's a little roller out toward the second baseman who picks it up and fires to first just in time. And that's the third out of the inning. But the Apaches do some heavy damage. They score 7 runs here in the fourth inning. 7 runs. So at the end of 4 complete innings, it's the Tyler Junior College Apaches 9 and the Howard Community College Hawks 0. We'll be back in just a moment. We go to the fifth. The Apaches holding, commanding 9-0 lead. Ariana Gonzalez, the Hawks' third baseman, will lead it off. Hanna Frank still in the circle for the Apaches. A foul ball down the third base side. So Hanna Frank, as she's been doing all day, gets ahead of the hitter. There's a strike on the outside corner. Hanna Frank is moving the ball in and out continually. As long as she does that, hitters are going to have a little bit of a problem. There's a ground ball. She throws to first for the first out. In that last inning at the bottom of the fourth, the Apaches scored 7 times, and you got 5 base hits. They have a total of 7 base hits. Kirsten Martinez, correction, number 17. Marin Musicant, who came in to pitch. Ball 3, so Hanna Frank falls behind Musicant, I believe I was told how you pronounce that, Musicant. There's a strike. So it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Marin Musicant here in the fifth with 1 down. Pitch. A little bit inside, and Musicant goes to first on a base on balls.
Number 3, Alyssa Rundell.
Here's Alyssa Rundell, the right fielder. who bounced out to Bailey Krolchek, the first baseman, the first time. There's a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. And the Hawks are coming back here, fighting back.
Now batting with a runner at first and second.
One out.
Number 5,
Two runners on.
Urea.
And here's Sarah Urea, the left fielder. She looks like she wanted to lay one down, but pulled her bat back. Sarah Urea is a sophomore outfielder from Camarillo, California. There's a pitch on the outside corner. Again, Hannah Frank painting the corner of the plate. So it's 1-1. We've got one down with two runners on, and we're in the top of the fifth. Here's the pitch. Fouled off to the right, and Frank gets ahead in the count, a ball and two strikes. Here's a pitch. Fouled off again. The count remains 1-2. 9 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Tyler so far. No runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors for Howard. Again, we're in the top of the fifth with one down and 2 runners on. And the pitch. There's a little ground ball back to Hannah Frank. She fires to Brecklin Dennis over at third for the out. Urea's on with a fielder's choice.
2 outs. Number 7, Amanda Gonzalez.
So we have 2 runners on, and here's Amanda Gonzalez, considered to be probably the leading hitter for the Howard Hawks, an All-American. There's a pitch again on that inside corner, and Hannah Frank has been finding those corners all afternoon long. So it's strike one to the dangerous Amanda Gonzalez. Here's a pitch. Just a little outside. Gonzalez struck out her first time up, but then she doubled in the third, so she's 1 for 2. Hannah Frank fires. There's a little ground ball that fouled down the third baseline. Dennis went over, but it was clearly foul. So there's 1 ball and 2 strikes now on the leadoff hitter, Amanda Gonzalez, for the Howard Hawks. Hannah Frank looks in for a sign from Aubrey Carricker, and she fires into the dirt. Character got down, dug that ball out to keep it from rolling back, kept the runners at second and third. So we've got a 2-2 count on Amanda Gonzalez. There's a little ground ball to Brecklin Dennis. She bobbles it, can't make the play, and so Gonzalez is going to be at first with an error on Brecklin Dennis.
Now batting with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Now that
2, Barbara
Saviola, the second baseman, comes up now with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Dennis got a little bit of hurry there and bobbled that ball. So there's 2 down. Hannah Frank's working very effectively. She pitches. Ball 2. The bases are full. There's 2 outs, and we're in the top of the 5th inning. There's a strike on that outside corner. The count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Apaches leading 9-0, but the Hawks are got a serious threat here, but there are 2 outs. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball headed to right field. It's in there for a base hit. So Saviola singles just beyond the reach of Riley Burke, the Apache second baseman.
Batting with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Number 11, Layla, Minich.
So the Hawks are on the board. And here's Layla Minich, a designated player, who's 0 for 2 today. Here's Hanna Frank. She fouls one hard down the left field line. And Frank gets ahead of her, 0-1. Score's now 9-1. There are 2 outs. The bases are still full. Pitch a little bit outside. The Hawks trying to score here and keep the game alive for them. And Frank fires. There's a little ground ball headed to center field for a base hit. Throw back in, and 2 more runs score. So a base hit for Minich.
Now batting with runners at first and second, 2 outs. Number 20, Annette Cardenas.
And here's Annette Cardenas. The Hawks have fought back here, and they've scored 3 runs. It's make it a 9-3 ball game. Swings and she misses. So it's no balls and 2 strikes. Ball gets away. The runners move up. So we've got runners in scoring position at second and third. 2 strikes on Cardenas. Here's a pitch. Foul back. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're in the 5th. The Apaches now have a 9-3 lead. They got 2 outs, but the Hawks have fought back. And after the error, they've gotten 2 base hits. And there's a 3rd strike, a curveball that found the inside part of the plate. And Cardenas goes down swinging. So, for the Hawks in the top of the 5th, they score 3 runs on 1, 2, 3 base hits. And we're going to the bottom of the 5th. The Apaches coming up, and they hold a 9-3 lead over the Howard Community College Hawks. We'll be back shortly. That era. Damn era.
That one right there. She never does that. Number 8, Jody, Dehart.
Dr. J back with you for the Apache half of the 5th inning. Jody Dehart, who hit a long home run her last time up, she's 1 for 2, stands in. Takes a pitch down low from Marin Misicant, a sophomore pitcher from San Diego, California. Here's a pitch. Dehart takes a good rip at it, tips it. The count evens at 1-1. And we're in the fifth. The Apaches hold a 9-3 lead. Jody Dehart fouls one back to the screen, and she's down in the count, of ball and 2 strikes. There's a changeup, bounces in front of the plate, and evens the count up at 2-2. Dehart's the freshman from Lindale, Texas. There's a pitch. She rolls one to the third baseman, who fires to first in time, and Jody Dehart is grounded out third to first for the first out here in the fifth inning.
Now batting with 1 out, number 11, Paulina Barajas.
Here's Paulina Barajas, the shortstop, who tried to bunt her first time up and was thrown out, and then she walked and scored back in that big fourth inning. There's a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. A little pop over the first baseman, to the first baseman, and she backpedals and hauls it in for the second out. So Barajas is out on a pop fly to the first baseman.
Number 5, Riley Burke.
And here's Riley Burke, who doubled her last time up in that big 7-run fourth for the Apaches. Burke is 1 for 2 today. She grounded out to short her first appearance and then doubled to left center in the fourth inning. We're in the fifth, 2 down. I was going to mention that Barajas, while she was up, that I understand that her mom is visiting here from Mexico, watching her daughter in action this afternoon. 2 balls and a strike to Riley Burke, second baseman. Ball's down low, and it's 3-1. There's a strike. In the 2 games yesterday, Burke went 2 for 3, scored a run, and had a double. She swings and taps it foul, stays alive. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes, full count, 2 out. We're in the fifth. Pitch. She just gets a little piece of it. And Burke stays alive. She has a full count on her. 2 down in the fifth. Tyler leads 9-3. It's a pitch. She flies one out to center, left center. The center fielder drifts over, has it for the third out. And the Apaches go 1-2-3 here in the fifth. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. So at the end of 5 complete innings, our score is the Tyler Apaches 9, the Howard Community College Hawks 3. We'll return in a moment. We're back with you. We're going to the top of the 6th inning. The Hawks are going to send up the catcher Bailey Martinez, third baseman Gonzalez, and the pitcher Musicant. Hanna Frank goes out for her 6th inning of work. She fires. There's a line drive down the left field line that's curving foul. So 1 strike on Bailey Martinez. As I mentioned earlier, Bailey Martinez is a sophomore at Howard Community College. She hails from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hanna Frank fires on the outside corner, beautiful pitch, and she gets ahead, 0-2. Martinez is 0 for 2. She's grounded out to the second baseman Burke both her times at the plate. She's down in the count, 0-2. There's a little line drive down the right field line that's curving foul. So Martinez stays alive. And Hanna Frank continues to impress by getting ahead of the hitters. She's 0-2 on Martinez. Here's the pitch. There's a line drive that Paulina Barajas stabs for the first out. Nice play by Barajas. It was to her right. And she reached out and grabbed it. And that's the first out. Nice play by the Apache shortstop. Here's Gonzalez, the third baseman. She is 0 for 2. Grounded out both times. Hanna Frank in the circle. There's a little tapped. Little miscommunication there. It was a slow hit ball. Krolchek, the first baseman, went after it, but then Riley Burke was unable to get to first in time. So Gonzalez is at first, and here's Marin Musicant, the pitcher. I think Krolchek probably misread that ball. She went over. It was slowly hit, and it would have been a close play, but Burke, the second baseman, was coming in for it also, and then that left no one to cover first. So I think it goes as a base hit. 1 on and 1 out. We're in the 6th. Hanna Frank strikes out Musicant. A drop ball that slid out to the right. So there's 2 down and a runner at first. And Rundell, the right fielder for the Hawks, is up. The Apaches lead 9-3. We're in the 6th. There's a ground ball headed up the middle, but Riley Burke is there. She grabs it, steps on second for the out. And it's the third out of the inning. And the Hawks go down without scoring. So in the 6th, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. And your score after 5.5 innings, the Apaches 9 and the Howard Hawks 3. We'll return. Dr. Charles Johnson subbing for Dr. John Groth this afternoon, and we're back at Schwab Field on the campus of Brook Hill here in Bullard, Texas, and we're going to the bottom of the sixth inning with the Apaches holding a 9-3 lead, and their catcher Aubrey Carricker will lead it off here in the sixth against Musicant. There's a pitch on the outside for a ball. Character got a double in the third and then bounced back to the pitcher in the fourth, so she's 1 for 2. She tries a bunt but fouls it over to the right. Aubrey Carricker leading off here for the Apaches in the sixth. There's a pitch. Just got the outside corner of the plate, called a strike, and it's a ball and 2 strikes now on number 4, Aubrey Carricker, the Colorado native, who will be attending Colorado School of the Mines next year. She signed an agreement to go there next year. She fouls it back, protects the plate a little bit, and stays alive. A ball and 2 strikes on Carricker. We're in the sixth. There's a little line drive hit off kind of the end of the bat that Musicant grabs for the out. I think Musicant thought that was hit a little harder than it was, but she stuck out her glove and got it for the first out. And here's Jazz Dodd, who is 2 for 3, a homer, a double, and then she grounded out another time to lead off the first. So Jazz Dodd homered in the third, and she doubled in that big 7-run fourth. There's a pitch in there for a strike. So it's 2 strikes, no balls on Dodd. Dodd has signed an agreement to go play with Alabama State in Montgomery, Alabama next year. She grounds one. First baseman reaches out and grabs it, touches the base, and that's the second out. So 2 up and 2 down for the Apaches.
Now batting for the Apaches with 2 outs, number 18, Allie Kim.
And we've got a pinch hitter here. Number 18, Allie Kim, is going to bat for Brecklin Dennis. Her first, Allie Kim, is a freshman from Colorado, Castle Rock, Colorado. Here's Kim. Kim had a big day yesterday in the 2 games. She was 4 hits, 6 at bats, 3 runs scored, 4 hits, 2 RBIs, and hit 2 home runs. So it was a great day. One of the leaders yesterday in those 2 Apache victories was Allie Kim, and she stands in there right now. There's a pitch down, called a strike. I guess it caught the corner. So it's 2 balls and a strike on Kim. There's 2 outs here in the sixth. The Apaches holding a 9-3 lead. Here's Musicant's pitch. There's a bouncing ball right up the middle, and Allie Kim continues her hot hitting as she singles right through the middle, and she's on first with 2 outs.
Now batting with a runner at first and 2 outs, number 7, Tangela Smith.
And here's Tangela Smith, who's been hit by a pitch the last 2 times up. And if I know Tangela, she's wanting to hit the ball this time rather than be hit by the ball. There's a pitch a little bit outside. Smith, the Apache center fielder. She hails, her hometown is Killeen, Texas. There's a ground ball right up the middle, another base hit. And Tangela Smith has her first hit of the afternoon as she singles up the middle. The Apaches trying to put together a little two-out rally. And Maliha Vera, the right fielder, comes up. She has two base hits. She struck out in the second, but she singled in the big fourth uprising, and she singled. Well, she actually had two singles in that fourth inning. So she grounds one to the shortstop, who throws to first in time. And so the Apaches threaten, but they don't score. They get two base hits. So that's 6 innings in the books now. And the Apaches, at the end of 6, lead the Howard Community College Hawks by a score of 9-3. And we'll be back in a minute for the 7th and see if the Hawks can put together some type of rally to keep the game going. We'll see. We'll be back in a moment. Well, here we go to the 7th. The number 9 hitter in the Hawks lineup, Sarah Urea, was going to lead off. And they're down 9-3, and this is their last chance to do something about that deficit. Hanna Frank fires. Urea attempts to bunt, but fouls it in the dirt. She's behind in the count 0-1. Urea has struck out and was on a fielder's choice. There's a little bounce down the first baseline. So Hanna Frank, as she's been doing all afternoon, is ahead of the hitter. No balls and 2 strikes. There's a bouncer toward Riley Burke, the second baseman. She feels it. Fires over to Crowell, the first baseman.
Now batting with 1 out, number 7.
And there's 1 down for the Hawks. And here's Ariana Gonzalez. She has a double in 3 attempts. She struck out in the first. She doubled in the third. And then she got to first on a error and finally scored in the 5th, one of the 3 Hawk runs. Here's Hanna Frank. Tips her. The ball just tipped her arm, I believe, and so she's headed to first base.
First and 1 out.
Hit.
2,
Barbara Saviola, second baseman, who is 2 for 3. There's 1 down and 1 on. Hanna Franks fires and there's a strike. Foul back. Dodd's in left, Smith's in center, Olvera's in right. Around the infield for the Apaches, Kim has replaced Martinez at third, Rbis is at short, Burks at second, Crowell at first, Aubrey Carricker is behind the plate. And Hanna Frank is out for her 7th inning of work. Pitched a great ball game so far. There's a line drive to center field. Tangela Smith catches it and throws the ball in. It gets past Krolchek, rolls to the dugout of the Hawks, but no damage done. That was a fine running catch. It was a fine running catch by Tangela Smith. She had to go out into left center, but with her speed, she was able to track that ball down. So the Hawks are down to their last out. They have a runner on and 2 outs. Hanna Frank throws. Foul down the right field line. Two down. Gonzalez is at first. She was hit by a pitch. Hanna Frank's trying to bring this game to a close. And she's facing Layla Minich, who's 1 for 3. There's a pitch a little bit inside. So it's 1-1. We're in the 7th. 2 outs. The Apaches hold a 9-3 lead. Hanna Frank trying to go all the way. There's a ground ball headed to center. It's through there. So Minich gets a ground ball base hit to center field. And the Hawks stay alive.
Now batting with runners at first and second, 2 outs.
First and second now with 2 outs.
Cardenas.
And here's Annette Cardenas, who is 0 for 3. She struck out twice and grounded out. Actually, she reached first on a fielder's choice in the 4th. There's a strike. Frank's ahead. Here's the pitch. There's a strike on the inside corner. Nice pitch by Frank, who has painted the corners of the plate all afternoon. She's been ahead of hitters. And when you stay ahead of hitters, good things generally happen. Here's the pitch. There's a little ground ball. Hanna Frank grabs it, flips to first.
Final score, Howard 3,
And that's the 3rd out. A masterful performance by Hanna Frank. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. And the Tyler Junior College Apaches have just defeated the Howard Community College Hawks by a score of 9-3. The Apaches jumped to a 2-0 lead in the 3rd inning. A home run by Jasmine Dodd got them on the board. And then they had that big 4th inning where they scored 7 runs on 5 base hits. And that broke the game wide open. The Hawks came back with 3 in the top of the 5th, but that was all the damage they could do to Hanna Frank, the Rockwall native, who pitched a great ball game this afternoon. Pitched the full game, 7 innings. So the final is the Tyler Junior College Apaches 9 and the Howard Community College Hawks 3. We're looking at the statistics a bit. The Apaches, Jasmine Dodd was 1 for 4 with 4 RBIs. Tangela Smith was 1 for 2. Allie Kim 1 for 2. Maliha Vera was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Jody Dehart was 1 for 3, as was Bailey Krolchek. Dehart drove in 2 runs. She homered again. Riley Burke contributed a single, as did Aubrey Character. Hanna Frank pitched the whole game, 7 innings. She gave up 8 hits, 3 runs. Actually, none of the runs were earned. They scored as a result of an error. She gave up 1 base on balls, and she struck out 6. And just a fantastic pitching performance by Hanna Frank against one of the best hitting clubs in the nation, the Howard Hawks. So congratulations to Hanna Frank, and congratulations to the Tyler Junior College Apaches as they stretch their record to 16-1 for this still rather young spring season. The Apaches will be back in action for the late game tonight, scheduled to start at perhaps around 7, maybe a little bit before, maybe a little after. We're really not sure. They'll be in competition with the Indian Hills Community College Warriors, and that should be a good game also. Well, this is Dr. Charles Johnson. I've been a pleasure bringing the game to you. The Apaches played an excellent game, and I can see down at their dugout they're a very happy bunch of young ladies. They played a good game and swung the bats very, very well. So we'll get out of here for a while, but we'll be back with you this evening for the game, and we hope that many of you will join us, and we'd like to have you with us. So, from Schwab Field, Dr. Charles Johnson about to sign out, and repeating the score, the Tyler Junior College Apaches defeat the Hawks from Howard by a score of 9-3. So long, everybody. We'll be with you later on this evening.